Bonjour à tous, bienvenue. Je m'appelle Ricardo. Today we are starting at the place where we had breakfast yesterday with Katya.
Bonjour.
So we're gonna have breakfast and then we're gonna head to Park Tsaritsyno. And then after that, I think we'll come back to the city and maybe do the Pushkin Gallery or the Tretjakov Gallery or both. We'll see. The metro from here, from the center of the city towards Tsaritsyno Park is about 40 minutes, and then 8 minutes from the metro there walking into the park.
So we're heading over to the metro station now, and there is a metro station called Tsaritsyno, which is north of the park, but we want to go in through the south because we want to walk through a foresty area, part of the nature reserve. So that station is called Orekhovo, and it's on the Green Line. This was one of the longest metro rides that I've taken here in Russia so far, but the metro is pretty comfortable and it's definitely the fastest way to get around the city. So we came out of the station and we went straight into the park, and you can see here on the map just how big this place is. It's got a lot of water too. So now we're gonna head through this nature walk towards the palace. Moscow actually has many nature reserves and parks, so even though you're in a big city, you're never far from trees and fresh air. That's really nice. I filmed this back in August of this year, so we had really warm weather. It takes a while to edit and publish these videos because I'm still doing my master's degree online, but I have many more videos filmed coming soon, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I have a few more videos from Russia and some more from Mexico and the United States, and then we'll see what other countries come after that.
So we've arrived at Tsaritsyno, and what is your first impression, Katya?
Nice.
It's like a fairy tale castle.
Yeah.
In the late 16th century, this was a big estate called Bogorodskoye, which belonged to the sister of Tsar Boris Godunov. In the 17th century, it belonged to aristocratic families like the Streshnevs and Galitsyns. In 1775, Empress Catherine the Great was passing by the area and fell in love with the landscape, so she immediately bought the land, and architects began building a palace. When the Empress visited this palace, built by architect Vasily Bazhanov, it was almost complete, but she was not impressed. The rooms were too small and dark, and she described the place as unlivable. So she had it demolished, and you can still see the ruins out in front of this palace. So the following year, a new architect, Matvey Kazakov, presented new designs to the Empress.
They're like playing classical music and it's very nice here.
Catherine the Great approved the new design by architect Matvey Kazakov, and construction began again in 1786. However, Catherine the Great passed away in 1796, and the palace that we see today was still under construction. The construction site remained untouched for over 200 years.
So right here in front of the castle, there's a nice park and a tree in the middle. And people are having picnics.
After Catherine the Great passed away, Emperor Paul I had no interest in finishing this palace. I've actually shown you the palace that he built in St. Petersburg in one of my previous videos. Remember, it's the one that he built like a fortress with a moat, which didn't work because he was assassinated inside anyways. So Tsaritsyno was left unfinished with a black roof and no interiors. In 2005 to 2007, the Russian government decided to finish the palace and open it as a museum to the public. On this side of the museum, there was a big collection of art from the Empire, and on the other side of the museum, there was more modern art and exhibitions from Russian art institutes. They definitely put a lot of effort into the interiors, and it would be interesting to know how accurate they were to the original designs. The budget for this project must have been really high though, because the palace was in ruins when they started reconstructing it. There was some criticism in the media, but I wasn't able to find many articles. I wonder if it was about the cost of the project or the finishing of the ruins. I think this visit was worth it. It was actually free because I had my Russian vaccine QR code. This sort of neo-Gothic architecture is really rare here in Russia, so I'm glad it was restored. It is starting to get a little bit cloudy now, so we're gonna grab lunch and head to the next museum. We are gonna go north of the palace towards the metro.
We are heading to Belaruskaya Metro Station, and we're gonna meet Daisy and maybe her friends as well at the depot.
On the way back, I noticed these huge neighborhoods being built. I've actually seen projects like this in all of the big Russian cities that I've been to so far this year. In St. Petersburg, the metro lines have to keep growing faster because the new neighborhoods sometimes don't have a station nearby. But here in Moscow, it seems like the metro goes everywhere. Moscow is massive though, so there's probably some outskirts that the metro doesn't reach to. Now we are back closer to the city center, and we're going to eat at the Moscow depot because some of the students are there from the school and they wanted to meet us.
Or this one.
What is really meant by smooth. I like it. I think you guys should say it too. Bye.
Now we are going to Pushkin Fine Arts. I have to take a picture of the outside of the building and the inside. That's part of my job as well. Are you guys excited for art?
Well, I don't want to say too much, but
It got a little cloudy and it was starting to rain, so we decided to go to the Pushkin Fine Arts Museum close by. The museum was really big, so I didn't film everything, but they had art from Renaissance Italy, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, and Mediterranean cultures, lots of cool stuff from Mesopotamia and the Middle East. I was seriously impressed by the amount of statues too. This is the first museum I've been to where there's plenty of room and everything was packed with art. Usually museums feel big and empty, but this one was pretty much the opposite. So that was our visit to the Pushkin Museum. If you visit Moscow, or if you're there now, it's definitely worth seeing in person. After this, we wanted to go see the Cathedral of Christ the Savior. Unfortunately, it was closed that day, but we still wanted to go across the street and see it from the outside. This is a church that was demolished by the Soviets to make space for the Palace of the Soviets. As you can see, it was rebuilt and it looks really amazing. The Palace of the Soviets was a huge project and it was going to be a super tall building with a statue of Lenin at the top, but it was never built. So there was an empty space here with the ruins of the previous cathedral until the late 1990s when the Moscow citizens and the Orthodox Church decided to rebuild the church.
So we finished up at the Pushkin Museum and it was huge. All our legs are super sore.
Exhausted.
Yeah, but now we are here, and I think after this we're probably gonna head home, rest for a bit, and then have dinner all together. Because you owe us money.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. I have a lot more videos coming soon. See you next time.